Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Organically Healing. I am Donna, and today I have the lovely guest, Jodee, with us. Say hello, Jodee.
Hello.
I met Jodee over the past few months on Instagram, and her and I have been corresponding. And I really love the things that she posts and what she stands for. And so I thought that this would be a good opportunity to bring her on and to do a little interview so everyone would know what's actually happening in Australia right now, and to see how it is similar to everything else that's happening in the world. Um, so Jodee, tell me a little bit about yourself and also about the group that you're part of, Ladies of Lore, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much for having me on, Donna. It's really interesting how we've been aligned during this time and that we resonated straight away.
Exactly.
And once we made that connection, we just knew we were meant to be friends. And it doesn't matter that there's seas between us. The connection's still
Right.
there, and I believe that there's a lot of us like-minded souls out there being aligned, because we wouldn't have been aligned at any other time.
And definitely.
Because I wouldn't have been talking about this stuff. My Instagram has turned
Exactly.
into a very platform of truth.
Yes.
And I've always been a truth seeker. So, especially, being awakened, and my awakening started 18 years ago. So it's been a very long, slow burn. But in the last couple of years, it's come to my attention that our government does not have our best interests at heart. There's a lot of corruption, and I could see it around the world, and I couldn't really see it in our government, because I've never been into politics. So that's what's really interesting, that I've gotten so vocal about our Premier here in Victoria, in Australia, because he's basically turned into a dictator. So I started studying law 10 months ago. And it was synchronistic as well. I was actually going to collect groundwater, because I haven't drank tap water for 3 years. So I've been drinking natural spring water from the ground. And I was talking to a guy about that particular spot got shut down because Chinese people came along and started taking that groundwater and selling it, which is not appropriate. It's
Right.
for everybody. It's not money from. So somehow, many years ago, a friend's dad from high school told me how the Australian Constitution allowed the people access to that water again, and the council had sectioned it all off. And then they used constitutional law to have it reopened for the people. And then people weren't allowed to obviously sell it. So the locals had their water taken away. The Constitution protects us. That's why it was written. And so I walked up to this guy, suddenly got into a conversation. I know nothing about constitutional law. And he goes, you might like the group that we have, which was local to me, at Magpie House. You might enjoy meeting some people who are like-minded. And then my eyes just kept getting opened up to law and what was going on with our government, and even with our police, finding out they're a corporation.
Oh, wow.
All of our you can look up on any ABN lookup, and you can look up the ABN numbers, courts, police, all of the government agencies. They're actually corporations, which changes all laws we've been told, because if they're a corporation, they've got about as much clout as Bunnings or McDonald's.
Right.
So at the moment, so that got me interested, because I have been a victim to the system, with this unlawful system that we live under. So I could never understand why criminals got away with what they got away with, yet innocent people were getting fined for a simple not paying for a toll on a freeway. It
Right.
didn't make sense. So once I was learning about the law, it made a whole lot of sense. So then on one particular night, we were all at Magpie House, and the Ladies of Law, and that's LORE, so as in natural law, we all got aligned. And that was really fascinating, because when we got to know each other, we had deeper connections through other friends, through other experiences. Jackie and I knew each other from 12 years ago, 8 years ago. Yeah, so it's really been a fascinating journey, and with women and us in particular, there's no ego, so we just all get along so well. You know, there's a vegan and a carnivore in our group, and we all get along well because we
Yeah,
all respect each other.
I've seen some of y'all's videos, and y'all seem like you're a really good group. And just to let everyone know that who's watching this, Jodee is in Victoria, Australia. Am I correct?
Yeah,
You are in Victoria,
yeah,
Australia.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's in Melbourne to Victoria, Australia.
So since you guys started, you started to do this research and come together, and you have almost like a legal family together. So
Yeah,
when
that's
all of
right.
this corona stuff started happening, and also one thing that we've been really focused on in the past months is masks. How did y'all get into all of that?
Okay, so when with studying law, and then of course when we're at our groups, we would okay. So the government would then give us like an announcement. I don't watch news or any mainstream media. I haven't watched TV for 7 years. I'm not interested in that. I'm after truth. That's it. And there would be these announcements, which people would send to me because I knew I wouldn't be watching the news. And so we'd be giving you directives. Now, these are directives, and they have not gone through any due process legally. So through the weaponized media, the government gets the media to make you think it's a law, and they'll give you a fine. Whereas a fines are completely unlawful anyway, and we do have systems in place where we can actually write them off, because it goes into the straw man theory and all that kind of thing, that if you're a living man or woman, these directives don't apply to you. So basically using fear to make everyone submit. And then of course the mask mandate came in. It's a mandate, it's not a
Right, it's
law.
a mandate, not a law.
But yeah, so it's another directive, which when you look up the word direction, they're inviting you, and the only way that you can the only way they can force a directive on you is for you to consent. They require your consent. So if you know your rights and basic laws that protect you, you just don't consent, and then you're not contracting with them. And then it goes into commerce law, contracting verbally and stuff like that. So that's been very interesting journey to understand. When I've gotten a fine in the past, I've completely contracted and consented to it without even knowing, because they use such trickery,
Right.
police, because when you think of it, they're a corporate entity. Therefore, they're not for the people anymore. They're here to earn money for their corporate masters, which is an overseas corporation who pays their wages. So it's a foreign entity running our police force. So that's why the police don't care about the people anymore. They're not out there solving crime. They're not out there doing this fear-mongering the public. So we should feel protected by our police force, but we feel fearful because they've done that programming in setting up, you know, their presence in such a way that we're fearful. And that's what's been happening with this mask stuff. So
if you go outside, and let's say that you go to the supermarket, or you go to, let's say, go to the park, and most of the people are in masks, and a law enforcement officer comes up to you, and he basically tells you, or you're supposed to have on a mask. What do you do?
Yeah.
And what have you done?
Okay, so this is pretty funny because through the media, they're fear-mongering into thinking that you have to do this or you're breaking a law, and no one wants to break the law. I have a huge respect for the law. That's why I study it. So this is where the information is getting misconstrued and manipulated. And so on the DHHS website, which is where the directives come from, our Chief Health Officer, it says if you can't wear a mask, that's okay. You just have to have a lawful reason.
Right.
So you can have obviously a medical exemption.
What about religious
they've made it very difficult.
exemption? Do you guys have that?
Well, that's because there is a video of Jackie and I at Kmart on the first day, and some of the truthers have named Thursday, which I think was, is it a week or 2 weeks on now, with the mask mandate. We call it Red Thursday with a communist symbol, because it was a change in Australian history where we actually feel like we're in a communist country now, being told what to do,
Right.
and that breathing has now become not even a human right. They're trying to override a human right. And so on the first day, we decided to go into Kmart, and at the entrance of Kmart, standing 2 police officers. So we walked, as you, and the police asked me first. I hadn't got my camera operating at that point, and he said, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" I go, "I've got a medical exemption." And straight away, he didn't question it, and then he went to Jackie. And then he asked Jackie, and she said, "It's against my religion." And he started to go back and forth with her. You know, "I need to get your details." And she goes, "No, you don't. I don't have to give them to you." Because she knows her law so well, she stood her ground.
Right.
And basically, you can see him breaking into a sweat, and then he walks away. When she said, "It's Mark of the Beast wearing the mask," he turned around, shut his book, and walked away. And that got put into the media, and we got a warning. There was no warning. The media manipulated it. Yeah, because I want to scare people. That was the first day that happened.
Oh,
and
wow.
I don't want people knowing we don't have to do that. You know, so people don't worry. People now think that they can ask you, because obviously, like you mentioned, most people are wearing a mask. Most people are complying.
Yeah.
And you can see them. They know it's wrong. They're walking around. Their body language is all slumped over. It's so dehumanizing. And
Well, it also
so
causes lack of oxygen. I mean, I'm talking about for myself here. It gives me a headache.
Yep.
You know, and you will see people come into a store, it's here, and then it slowly moves down and their nose is hanging out.
Yeah, because you need to breathe, and that's the thing. It's not meant for healthy people. It's meant for sick people only. You know, the evidence is out there that masks don't protect you from a virus. And so I'll give you an example of how we know it's not about health. Our Premier, when he was announcing about the mask mandate, he joked and he goes, "Oh, just get whatever you can to cover your face, even if it's a pair of pantyhose, that will do, as long as you're covered." Now, to me, that just says it's no longer about health.
Right.
Because we'd all be forced to wear medical masks.
It's just compliance.
And there would be Pardon? Yeah, it is compliance. You know? And so, sadly, fear is controlling people. And the media have turned the people against the people. If you don't wear a mask, you are an evil, grandmother-killing, selfish person.
Right.
And up to you straight across the supermarket. You're the reason we're in this mess, and all these ridiculous. It's all brainwash. That's what the media tells them, and so they just repeat it.
Like makes them feel like they are good people wearing the mask. They are, you know, they're taking one for the team and they are protecting everyone. So, you know, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
It really is, because if they looked at the science and they listened to real doctors that have no agenda with Big Pharma, doctors that aren't reading off a script because they're made to for the media, they would find out that, you know, that it's going to make you sick breathing in your own carbon dioxide every day.
And I don't know if you saw the video. Did you see the video that was posted online of, you know, Bill Nye the Science Guy, right? We grew up with him. Did you see the one where he took a candle and he had the regular cloth mask and then the N95, and he was acting like he was blowing, and it wasn't blowing out the candle, but then the lady took the exact masks and blew out the candle so easily, and it was like, come on, you know, come on, that's crazy. But that was laughable. It was laughable.
It was laughable.
And
laughable
sad.
Because people are buying it.
That's right.
It is, because they are so feared into believing what they're seeing, and that's why I believe I'm a deep thinker. And I thought, these people I know for 30 years, I know how intelligent they are. I thought they had common sense, but they're believing this stuff like it's gospel. And I thought, why is that? Why would an intelligent person believe this absolute, it's just tripe.
Right.
And there's no truth, no science to it, but they're believing it. And you show them the truth and the facts, and they will not accept it. They won't even look at it. It's like, what's going on through that media that they're watching? I believe it's a heavy, heavy program they've been put into. And also that this is one instantly, you're in a supermarket, you've got a naked face, no mask. Why someone with a mask will attack you viciously? Get in your face. Why aren't you wearing a mask? It's a stranger. What's their business what I do with my body? You know, it's my choice.
They are like the people police, you know, they're like citizens police. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so they've been made to believe that it's their right to come and attack you. So this is what's really frightening, is because intelligent people are falling for that narrative that the media is selling because the government has weaponized them.
Right. And lastly, can you tell us what's happening right now in Victoria? What's going on? Because I see a lot of different posts, a lot of things happening. What's happening?
Yeah. Down here on Prisoner Island, that's what we like to call it, because
goodness.
And I'll kind of give you a quick 101 on the red ensign flag. Now, we were led to believe, as we get programmed through our childhood and stuff, that the Australian flag is a navy blue flag. So when you see the red, it's actually navy. Now, that's a corporate flag, and that represents corporate Australia and Admiralty law, which I know that you'd be aware of. It's the same in America as here, Admiralty law. And the truth of this flag is our Anzacs fought under this flag. Our Anzacs who fought for our freedom in this country, they fought under that flag. Mm-hmm. And then at a certain time in history, it got taken away because it represented the private sector, which is the people, and the Anzac. So it's a people's flag. So they took this flag away and they started using the corporate one instead. So we've all grown up using this symbol everywhere. And it wasn't until I met the group that I study law with that I learned about this. And so we use this flag everywhere now because it's our true flag. It's a people's flag.
That's
interesting. You know, while
that's interesting. Yes. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I didn't. And so I had to learn all this, kind of unlearn what I've been taught through school, and learn about the truth of this flag. So this is our true flag.
And you had to unlearn and then relearn the truth.
Yeah, that's one of the hashtags that I use, exactly, unlearn and relearn. And the reason it's tipped on the angle is when the flag is hung upside down, it's a sign the country is in distress.
Right.
So that's what we're representing at the moment, because we're under a dictatorship right now. It's not a free country like our Anzacs fought for. So at the moment, we've just, I'm trying to think of what day it was. There was an announcement on Sunday from our Premier, and he said that we are now going into stage 4 lockdown, and we now have a curfew from 8 p.m. at night till 5 a.m. in the morning. So no one is to leave their house at that time. Right. So this amazingly woke virus, you know, it goes by at times. Because apparently it's more unsafe to be out after 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
And now they're threatening a stage 5 lockdown. With this lockdown at the moment, we're not allowed to go any further than 5 kilometres from our house for shopping or those kind of things.
How will they be able to judge that? Through your driver's license, where you live, or, I mean, you know?
I guess that if you happen to leave your Hunger Games district, and they actually number plate, they could be like, pull you over, like, why have you left your 5 kilometre radius? Right. You know, I mean, they're understaffed at the moment. They've pulled police officers out of the academy early to be able to boost their force up. So they're understaffed already. And while they're doing this, they're not solving crime. This is a concern. We already have a problem with so much crime over here. and it's not being addressed. And now it's just being put straight to the back of the line more than it ever was before. So there are so many questions that we can ask. That the people that are watching the mainstream media, like waiting for every new announcement, they do countdowns. They do countdowns before lockdown. 3 more on the news. Someone showed me they have the counter in the left corner, ticking down to when the next lockdown happens, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe people watch that. That's normal. There's nothing normal about it.
No.
You know, and he has threatened. It's nothing normal, and he has threatened, because we all tell people it's about a vaccine. It's about the vaccine. They want us to take the vaccine, and he has actually said when he's having one of his tantrums that there will be no normal until every single Victorian is vaccinated. And it's like, oh, we knew you were going to say that, but now you have. So
common. That is right now. That's very common all throughout the world. A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, and that's frightening, because, you know, when in the world has every country's government agreed on something?
Right.
You know, they're always warring with each other, but they're all really, you know, promoting the same thing: New World Order, you know, vaccinations, forced vaccinations, what's more, you know, breaching all sorts of human rights. And and our Premier also likes to remind the public that he said something, I'll be paraphrasing here, but he said something along the lines of, now if you try to reason with a conspiracy theorist, you're just giving them oxygen.
I saw that video. You sent me that video. He was angry. You could feel his anger when he was talking. It's like these people are putting a cramp in his style. Really?
Isn't it funny how, like, I just thought it was interesting to get your perspective on that, because it's like, this is
you could hear it. You could hear it in his voice. It's almost like he was shaking when he was saying it. Yeah. Like it was seriously distressing him.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because we were talking truth, and that was the same. I think that was a night of when the big media story went through, dragging us all through the media, making us out to be a cult. We're an anti-mask cult. Like, what is an anti-mask cult? The fact that we, you know, share information about people's rights and correct laws, you know, that's frightening to them, because they've been running rogue for a long time. You've got a rogue government that's not adhering to the laws they're meant to be upholding, a rogue police force that is just little foot soldiers for the rogue government. They don't want people knowing this stuff. So
now, I know that you saw online that Germany had a huge protest days ago in Berlin. Like 1.3 or 1.5 million people were out there protesting, as well as there was a protest as well in the UK. So is there anything that has happened right now in Australia? Are there any types of large protests in that scale, people coming out on the streets or anything?
No, not yet. With the one from the Berlin one was amazing, and I guess it just really points out the fact that the Germans know what happens when you believe a corrupt government. They've lived through that. They've got ancestors.
They have history there. Yeah.
And yeah, you know, and I say to people, have a look at Germany. Look what they lived through. You know, we're getting that done to us right now. It's for your safety. You know, stay safe.
It's
for your community. You know?
all of those phrases that are being used. It's, as they say, history repeats itself, right? Because those were all the phrases back in the day with Hitler, and it's crazy.
And yep, and someone said the other day, which I thought was very interesting. He goes, I thought Germans were stupid for believing what Hitler said. He goes, but I now take my words back and commend them for holding off for so long before they surrendered.
Wow.
He goes, that shows, because they were getting brainwashed the entire time.
Wow.
You know, and they did hold on for a long time when you think about it. And then we look here, Victoria seems to be, which is very interesting because, as you know, Australia was a penal colony. So we're a whole bunch of criminals when it comes down to the ancestry. And so
I didn't want to
not
mention that, but
but England
I
shipped
know.
out our
I
forefathers who
know.
were criminals. So, and that's the thing. It's like we're not by nature a compliant society. We're
Right.
about standing up for what we believe in and our truth, and especially, you know, our forefathers fighting for our freedom. You know, we're very honourable and we stand up for what's right. So the fact that people in Victoria are so compliant is kind of frightening, because that's not our nature. Just go accept something that's so wrong,
Right.
because it is wrong. It goes against everything that this country stands for.
Right.
You know, and Victoria is the guinea pig state. It's the one where they're trying everything out. Yeah, so basically what they're doing is they're testing all the things they want to do for the rest of the country on us first, to see how quickly we will fall into submission.
Oh, wow.
And we're not doing a job because we have so much in the majority just going, you know, bowing down and accepting it without even asking a question. Because if you question things, you start to get to the truth. So this is what's frightening for us that are awake to what's going on and that know the truth, is because, hey, brothers and sisters out there, you're making it worse for everyone. People losing their businesses, their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Our suicide rate has increased by 200%. It's so frightening, because people can't cope living like this, because it's not natural.
It's definitely not.
You know, and it's just
not.
there's so much. We're in a spiritual and psychological war right now, and it's going on. You know, as soon as you walk into the supermarket, if you don't wear a mask, it's basically like walking onto a battlefield. Which way are you going to get attacked?
Right. That's scary.
My heart rate was up to 119 beats per minute the other day just to go shopping, because I was preparing myself, because I know I could feel it as I was walking in there. But I will not just comply and submit because I'm being bullied. You know, that's what we're being bullied right now into something so unnatural, and it's just not right.
The world is crazy right now, my friend. It really is.
It is, and I'm just grateful that I got to meet you, even though it's not been in person.
Me too.
Because
sometimes the people you meet online, they become your best of friends. So yeah, I've met some really, really decent people.
Isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
That's it. Because we knew each other in real life, we would be friends, we'd hang out, and our families would spend time together, and that's the way it would be.
Yeah.
But you know, we're really blessed with the technology that we have. When the technology gets used for good, this is how it's used for good. It connects people, and I've met so many people. The funny thing is, a lot of the girls that I've met online, I met them commenting on an overseas post, and I find that they're from
right.
So isn't that amazing? So there's been a bunch, because we have obviously we've got Freedom Keepers here as well. So we've met some girls just through an online chat group with that, and it's really good, because we really need our communities at the moment of like-minded people.
Right, that's true.
So important.
It helps you to feel you're not alone. You feel you're not crazy, and you feel like you're not alone. Just to be able to connect with others, it's a nice thing. But I'm super happy that I got to meet you.
I know. We just sit there and we just like the same things, and you'll post something that I've like saved on mine to post late that night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. We think the same. So often it's like,
I was like, I agree with everything she has posted. Repost.
I do the same thing as well. And sometimes after a really hard day of being out there amongst the people and making you, pointing out, look at that crazy person, and all that kind of psychological warfare that they inflict on you. And, you know, I can come, you know, and sit in my quiet time and then flick through my Instagram feed, my favourite one, like yours. And then I can sit there and just laugh and just go, yes, from the other side of the world, you're feeling the pain that we're all feeling, and we're turning it into a joke. You know, just to get through, like I said to someone on a group the other day, I said, the memes are getting me through. They're making me laugh.
They're hilarious, but they say exactly, though, what you feel, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, yes,
they do.
created that one. It was amazing.
Oh, it's so good. And that's the thing. It's like we're uniting online, in person, and our community is our immunity. And I haven't had this community before.
Me too.
I've been a
Me
lone
too.
wolf, and people have never understood me. I've suffered with mental illness due to trauma, and my holistic healing journey kicked off nearly 2 years ago now. So people never understood what I went through, and I've been very careful not to project. Because as people say, when people lash out, it comes from a place of pain, etc., etc. Yeah, I get that, but not everyone projects like that. I've been
Yeah.
very, not to. So being so misunderstood for so long, and I could just connect with you straight away, you didn't care about that stuff because true, genuine people don't. They
Like
just
we
accept.
have all found our tribe online.
It is a definite soul tribe, and I really feel that. And in person, meeting all the crew from Magpie House, and now we've created the Ladies of Law. It is soul family. It's so strong, and it's so it just completes you in a way that is just so nourishing because
Yes,
that
definitely.
really
And
deep down.
with that, I want to go ahead and give your Instagram account and your email for anyone that
Yep,
would like to reach out to you. And I will also put
yep,
it in the description below as well. For Jodee's Instagram, it is DJ underscore girl, GIRRL, right? DJ
yep,
underscore
yep.
girl, that's a double R. And her email address is Jodee A. Jones at Outlook. That's JODEEAJONES at Outlook. So anyone there that wants to reach out to her or connect to her, find out about the law group there, and just reach out to her if you have a question for her. I will also put it down in the description below. But I am so happy that we got to come together today, and we finally got to talk. And we definitely have to do this again soon.
I definitely. It's thank you so much for having me because it's really important. I mean, we know and we're learning the truths all the time. There's so much covered up through the. I mean, it's history. It's been covered for a long time and it's coming out now, and we need to keep sharing that.
Hmm.
And we also need to keep reaching out to people that are newly awakening or
Right.
been awake for a while because we need community because it's so lonely out there when you don't know
Right.
people who are open to what's really going on. It's very lonely,
That's
and while the public is being encouraged to be so cruel and turn on people,
mm.
um, it's very isolating, and that is
Oh yeah.
really detrimental. Mental health is, isolation is one of the big things.
Yeah,
That,
right now that's all over the world. Everyone, well, not
yeah,
everyone, but the majority, everyone feels alone.
yeah,
Stuck in their
yeah,
house, don't go out,
yeah,
wash your hands constantly.
yeah. Well, I watched a video on that today, but I'll leave that for another time. But I will send you that. It's actually ritualistic. What that's all the mask, the hand washing.
That
People
sounds
are
similar
participating
to a
in
video I
rituals.
watched the other day. I will send you a video that I saw as well.
One, but isn't that crazy that they're getting people to participate without knowing what they're doing? And I'm
Right.
just so
I
grateful.
have something very similar to that. The washing the hands, the covering the face. Yeah,
The
scary.
isolation, yep, it's all part of
Exactly.
rituals.
Scary.
Yeah, probably
Same video.
which actually joined a number of dots because I couldn't figure out how can we not wake these people up that are watching that are consuming the MSN,
Right.
and it makes sense. If they weaponize the MSN to fear people into doing these rituals, then it's impossible to wake them up because they're doing the rituals and they just keep staying in that
Mm.
asleep,
Right.
basically brainwashed state. It's
All
really
right.
frightening. That joined up a few dots for me, so that's interesting. We watched the same thing. Not surprising,
I told
actually.
you we're like the same exact things.
I know, right? It's so funny. It's so funny.
Well, thank you, Jodee. Thank you so much for joining me today. And again, reach out to her if you have any questions. And until next time, my friend, take
Thank you
care.
so much.